Has Ryan Reynolds been living a double life right under Hollywood's nose?
You want to take a break?
From Blake? Sure.
Newly leaked rumors hint at a secret romance with Hugh Jackman.
What's that last line? Oh, he's gay. Oh, yeah, see, straight guys don't say that. There's nothing wrong with being gay in any way, but he definitely is.
While a stunning betrayal threatens to blow his perfect marriage wide open.
It's not every day a guy gets to interview the love interest of his best friend's wife, and the guy trying to replace Ryan as a husband and me as his best mate.
Holy shit.
I know, I can't believe.
That's it.
Like,
No, just that, yeah,
off
no.
camera.
Yeah.
Not so nice.
No, never.
Gotta keep her grounded.
No, yeah, absolutely. I've seen her go into a rage spiral.
Stick around, because once you hear the allegations swirling behind the scenes, you'll never see these A-listers the same way again.
Is Blake Lively a beard? Like, is she there just to produce kids and to give them that family image?
Incredibly fortunate I get to work in it this long, but I really want to work with people that are either immensely talented or people that I love. Hugh does not qualify as either of those.
How do you explain that?
Like trying to normalize all of these gay jokes, but nobody's actually asking him to do that.
He's also very charismatic. Like a gay guy.
It was hard not to love the movie because you guys are so beautiful to watch that I was just like,
Well, hello.
So listen, I've just got one question. What the hell are you doing messing with my best buddy's wife?
Could Ryan Reynolds be hiding something far more complicated than anyone imagined?
Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, will be deposed, and I suspect that might be making Ryan Reynolds extremely nervous, and I'll tell you why.
Lately, whispers around Hollywood suggest that his famously charming persona masks tensions, betrayals, and possibly a concealed identity.
I think people tell themselves stories, and this sort of comes back to your worldview that you just mentioned about.
Some claim his connection with Hugh Jackman has crossed the boundary between playful rivalry and something deeply intimate.
An impassioned kiss?
Perhaps too intimate for a man long seen as the devoted husband to Blake Lively.
I knew that this was another fake Me Too. I knew she was Amber Heard 2.0. I said it from day one.
Now, rumors and lawsuits swirl, roping in Justin Baldoni and even implicating unsuspecting bystanders.
Was in fact a part of the bullying that happened to Justin Baldoni is being awarded for his contributions with a deposition.
The story is part Hollywood scandal, part personal drama, and it has forced many to question how much of Reynolds' life is true and how much is a carefully choreographed performance. One thing is certain, the puzzle pieces lining up reveal a reality more shocking than anything the gossip pages have dared to print. Yet those puzzle pieces only scratch the surface.
The genetics? You have some sort of like low-angle squat routine to pop that region in that way? I mean, what's going on here, man?
At first glance, Ryan Reynolds appears to be the perfect Hollywood figure. Quick-witted, self-deprecating, always ready with a joke.
People that I love and that I'm genuinely like best friends with. And unfortunately, Hugh does not qualify as either of those, but
He and Blake Lively share a fairy tale marriage,
that I was just like,
Well, hello.
if you believe the public narrative. Hugh Jackman is his beloved friend, or frenemy, as the tabloids like to label him, complete with endless back and forth jabs and comedic roasts. But if you look closer, you'll see cracks, rumors about secret attachments, swirling talk about who's really controlling whom, and allegations that entire careers have been dismantled behind the scenes.
I take on more than I can chew. I say yes to things out of fear. I people please.
You'll remember the director accused Blake and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, of using their power to steal the movie from him.
I woke up at 4:30 this morning. My heart was racing. I'm noticing that, I'm having some anxiety.
These rumors haven't just hovered in the background, they've triggered lawsuits that threaten to unearth Hollywood's best guarded secrets. No one in this circle has escaped the microscope, not even the casual friend on the sidelines. And although each person involved has tried to dismiss the controversy, the sheer magnitude of the whispers has made it impossible to ignore.
I knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled.
In the beginning, the rumors about Ryan Reynolds were just that, idle chatter floating around entertainment circles. Fans labeled him a comedic genius who could do no wrong, an actor who found his niche after years of ups and downs in lesser-known projects. But behind his meteoric rise to A-list status countless threads of gossip started to interweave into a more complex tapestry. Did Ryan resent those close to him for overshadowing his star power? Was he harboring personal secrets that could have imploded his career if they came to light? It wasn't just tabloids fueling these rumors. Co-workers whispered about questionable, off-the-record remarks and personal friction on set. Some pointed to moments where Ryan's easygoing facade slipped, instances he snapped at an innocent question, or tried to stonewall a co-star who challenged him.
I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like a, hey, there's the person and we move on. It's they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said it just earlier, but I wanted to go back on that. You think that this might be the greatest film that you've...
I mean, look, most of the time when the movie is this much fun to make, you up bad.
Each incident on its own seemed minor, but viewed collectively, they painted a picture of a man who might have carefully rehearsed his every outward move. That underlying tension set the stage for the biggest shock of all, the rumored meltdown that people close to him describe as the unraveling of a carefully wrapped persona. But that wasn't the whole story. According to certain sources, the meltdown wasn't just about stress or career pressures. It was triggered by revelations involving his so-called best friend, Hugh Jackman. The meltdown narrative gained steam when Hugh, usually discreet about private matters, let slip hints that pointed to deeper layers in their relationship. What was once a playful public rivalry started to sound more like a complicated emotional tie. And for many fans, it was the first time they wondered, is there more behind Ryan and Hugh's bromance than just a comedic bit? Hugh Jackman has always been the triple threat of Hollywood. A top-tier actor, singer, and performer who moves seamlessly from action-packed superhero roles to Broadway musicals. His friendship with Ryan Reynolds was a PR dream. Two charismatic stars ribbing each other, trading barbs on social media, delighting fans across the globe. But with time, jokes about their closeness took on a sharper edge. Online chatter turned from laughing along with their witty jabs to asking why the comedic duo seemed so inseparable. Plenty of fans shrugged it off as a marketing tactic for their roles in the Marvel Universe. But behind closed doors, the story grew more tangled. Some claim that while the banter started playfully, it soon wove into something more personal, a connection that transcended typical celebrity friendships. Even off camera, Ryan and Hugh spent huge amounts of time together. Informal gatherings became hours-long talks that witnesses described as intensely private and emotionally charged. Moreover, Hugh Jackman's personal life was no stranger to rumor. For years, speculation trailed him. Some about his marital dynamics, others about his sexuality. The typical Hollywood rumor mill can be relentless, but Jackman mostly brushed it off. Then came the day his carefully guarded private world took a turn. He announced a divorce from Deborah Lee Furness, his wife of 27 years. The timing raised eyebrows as it coincided with unrelenting speculation and a swirl of controversies linking him more intimately with Ryan Reynolds. The whispers weren't just about an alleged affair, but about a bigger, orchestrated attempt to manage or obscure truths. People asked, was the divorce actually a strategic PR move meant to redirect attention? And was Hugh indirectly confirming a hidden side to his relationship with Ryan by stepping away from a marriage many believed was stable? For every speculation, fans and the media demanded answers. Yet no one had definitive proof to confirm these swirling theories. Even so, the confluence of events, Jackman's divorce, the rumored meltdown from Ryan, and subtle hints that pointed to deeper entanglements fanned the flames. Before long, the Jackman-Reynolds closeness was at the center of a storyline that no playful social media banter could gloss over. And here's where another crucial figure enters the equation, Blake Lively, who has unwittingly become a key player in the speculation about Ryan's personal truths. Blake Lively is no stranger to attention. She shot to fame with a polished image of effortless grace, and became part of a Hollywood power couple when she married Ryan Reynolds. By all appearances, the two were everything fans hope for in a star-studded romance. Witty banter, red carpet magic, and sweet family snapshots. It looked so perfect, so picturesque, that some wondered if it was too perfect. Slowly, an undercurrent of suspicion grew. Could Blake be playing a specific role in a meticulously crafted facade? Specifically, people began to point to the possibility of Blake being a beard. In entertainment parlance, a beard is someone who offers cover for a partner who might be hiding his or her true orientation. Rumors flared that Ryan's real bond was with Hugh Jackman, and that having Blake as the smiling, supportive wife was part of the standard Hollywood script to keep public perceptions aligned with tradition. This is not a new concept in Hollywood, but rarely has it been so publicly and repeatedly whispered about an A-list couple in the modern era. Observers started drawing comparisons. Ryan's on-camera jokes, posted tributes, or interviews about Hugh Jackman often sounded more heartfelt than those about his own wife. Fans noted how Ryan routinely teased or bantered with Blake in a way that sometimes verged on uncomfortable. In contrast, he seemed to champion Hugh with near-constant effusions of praise, even referencing their bond in language that sounded more like a spousal connection than a mere friendship. Could that point to a deeper emotional preference? Or were fans reading too much into harmless comedic bits? But that wasn't the only piece fueling speculation. Rumors linking Blake to Justin Baldoni suggested her emotional attachment lay elsewhere. As sensational as that might sound, the tabloids latched on with gusto. Reports claimed heated arguments erupted behind the scenes, with Ryan feeling blindsided by Blake's closeness to Baldoni. Then, as if following the plot of a Hollywood drama, Justin Baldoni launched legal action that threatened to expose far more than just a private tiff. Suddenly, Blake wasn't just rumored to be a beard. She was rumored to be an unhappy participant in a marriage overshadowed by bigger secrets. And that's how it came to be that Justin Baldoni found himself tossed right into the center of a scandal spinning out of control. Justin Baldoni might seem like an unlikely participant in a meltdown scenario involving Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, but Hollywood is full of strange bedfellows. Best known for his roles in television and his directorial projects, Baldoni has carefully maintained a reputation for being thoughtful, caring, and deeply interested in philanthropic work. So when rumors surfaced that he was embroiled in a lawsuit involving Ryan Reynolds, people were stunned. The central question: how did a seemingly down-to-earth actor-director wind up locking horns with one of Tinseltown's biggest names? As details trickled out, the story took shape. Baldoni, it was said, had been in negotiations for a major film, possibly It Ends With Us, and found himself on the receiving end of what he claimed was sabotage. Some accounts suggested that Ryan wielded his Hollywood connections to blacklist Baldoni, or at least to tarnish his reputation among certain industry gatekeepers. Others hinted that the real dispute was more personal in nature, possibly tied to Blake Lively's alleged emotional bond with Baldoni. The end result was that Baldoni had enough cause, or so he believed, to pursue legal remedies. Though the specifics remain murky, part of Baldoni's legal strategy involved naming both Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in depositions. Overnight, what should have been a private matter between two industry figures ballooned into something sensational. Suddenly, even fans who had never heard of It Ends With Us or Justin Baldoni were glued to the drama. Why was Hugh Jackman looped into this if it was primarily about Baldoni and Reynolds? And more disturbingly, what information did Baldoni have that could compromise the squeaky clean images of both Ryan and Hugh? At first, the parties tried to handle the feud discreetly, but attorneys from Baldoni's camp made it clear they intended to illuminate unethical conduct, including manipulative practices by Reynolds that allegedly sabotaged Baldoni's professional standing. If the rumors about Blake Lively's emotional closeness with Baldoni were even partially true, that might explain Ryan's eagerness to undermine him. But then again, if Ryan truly had personal secrets he didn't want leaked, what better strategy than to paint Baldoni as a troublemaker? As the depositions inched closer, fans braced for a wave of revelations. Many believed the real story extended beyond simple jealousy or career competition. They suspected the depositions would unveil genuine bombshells about Ryan's personal life, especially regarding his closeness with Hugh Jackman. And that leads directly back to the man who, until recently, was considered one of Hollywood's most untouchable stars, Hugh Jackman himself. Hugh Jackman's split from Deborah Lee Furness came after nearly 3 decades of marriage, an eternity in Hollywood years. The announcement arrived with a subdued statement about growing apart, which tried to paint the picture of an amicable decision. But the timing was so suspect, it became impossible to overlook how it aligned with the swirl of rumors tying Jackman to Ryan Reynolds. Overnight, speculation soared. Had the pair's rumored closeness overshadowed Jackman's marriage? Was the divorce a chess move, orchestrated to manage the growing chatter about his personal life? Public relations professionals stepped in, carefully steering the conversation. Commentators noticed how the narrative around Jackman swiftly changed. The focus shifted from speculation over his private affairs to a storyline of personal growth and reflection. Jackman was looking to the future, embracing the next stage of life, and so on. Yet that PR pivot conveniently sidestepped direct questions about whether the rumors of hidden truths, be they about Ryan Reynolds or about Jackman's sexuality, played any role in the divorce. Of course, Hollywood is infamous for using breakups to steer or distract public attention. One day, a star announces a separation, and instantly the tabloid headlines shift. Jackman's divorce put a spotlight back on him at precisely the moment chatter about a meltdown involving Ryan Reynolds was trending. Some say it wasn't just a coincidence, it was a well-timed attempt to keep Jackman's image untarnished in the storm that was about to break. If that's true, it suggests a lot of behind-the-scenes strategy from highly paid crisis managers who know how to spin a story. Meanwhile, Jackman found himself pulled deeper into the Baldoni lawsuit, primarily over allegations that he had been present for, or even participated in the negative campaigns against Baldoni. Whether that involvement was direct or purely via association remains unclear. But the legal pressure meant that Jackman could no longer simply stay silent, nor could his PR team magically shield him. If questions arose under oath, Jackman might have no choice but to reveal exactly what he witnessed between Reynolds and those in their inner circle. And if his divorce was partially about realigning his public image to brace for those revelations, it could explain why he suddenly stepped away from a marriage everyone had assumed was rock solid. At the center of all these colliding narratives stands Ryan Reynolds, a man rumored to be grappling with ego-driven impulses and a deep-seated need to control. For years, the world saw him as the charismatic nice guy, quick to crack a self-deprecating joke. But the lawsuit involving Justin Baldoni paints a different picture. Insider accounts describe Reynolds as fiercely protective of his public persona, willing to exert considerable Hollywood influence to keep it intact. Some even accuse him of blackballing Baldoni, orchestrating negative rumors, and sabotaging potential career moves. Tactics that speak to more than just a playful competitiveness. A few industry veterans aren't shocked. They note that in Hollywood, star power can be used as a sledgehammer or a shield. If a major studio or producer is forced to pick sides, they usually stick with the bigger name. And Ryan Reynolds is, without doubt, one of the brightest stars around. This dynamic could allow him to make or break other performers, especially those trying to climb the ranks. The chilling part? Baldoni's account suggests Reynolds did exactly that. Behind this alleged power play might lie an even more sensitive truth, that Reynolds is wrestling with personal identity issues, possibly related to his attachment to Hugh Jackman. The rumored meltdown could be a manifestation of that tension, knowing his carefully built image might unravel if the intimate details of his relationship with Jackman leaked. Perhaps that's why Reynolds was rumored to lash out so aggressively against Baldoni, especially if Baldoni was crossing lines with Blake Lively. When secrets run this deep, any external threat to the status quo can feel like a direct attack. Meanwhile, alliances grow tense. People who once admired Ryan now question his motives. Even fans who love his comedic style are forced to wonder if it's a veneer hiding relentless control. And those close to Hugh Jackman fear the upcoming depositions might place the beloved Wolverine star at odds with a longtime friend. With so many elements in play, it's as though each new allegation triggers a domino effect, one that topples carefully curated public images one after another. If you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, it's clear how each plotline feeds into the next. Ryan Reynolds, revered for his wit and comedic timing, may be juggling insecurities so profound they threaten to tear down his public persona. Hugh Jackman, often lauded as the ultimate showman and family man, has stepped away from a 27-year marriage in a move that invites more questions than it answers. Blake Lively, once hailed as the perfect Hollywood wife, faces accusations of being an unwitting or willing participant in a grand deception. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni, with a seemingly innocuous role in this drama, has ended up filing a lawsuit that could expose secrets no one ever intended to see daylight. Those secrets might include questionable deals, behind-the-scenes manipulation, or perhaps the real nature of certain relationships. Insiders whisper that depositions from key witnesses are shaping up to be catastrophic for all involved. People who have spent years in carefully balanced PR illusions might see their entire worlds upended if the details become part of public record. Lawyers on both sides are reportedly bracing for a media frenzy, and talk show hosts are already lining up to get exclusive interviews, if anyone is brave enough to speak on the record. And still, the biggest question remains: has Ryan Reynolds been living a double life? The controversy swirling around him has grown too big to write off as random gossip. Accusations of bullying, sabotage, closeted relationships, and staged marriages have all converged. Each new piece of evidence that surfaces online or in court only strengthens the sense that this is not a typical Hollywood rumor cycle. Fans wait, eyes glued to social media, convinced that any minute a major revelation will drop, unraveling the entire picture. Then again, maybe the truth is even stranger than they imagine. So, what do we really know? And what's pure speculation? Is Ryan Reynolds the ultimate Hollywood manipulator, stopping at nothing to protect a life built on illusions? Or is he simply a talented actor, caught up in a swirl of unfounded conspiracies? The same questions now loom over Hugh Jackman, whose once unquestioned marriage and career have taken unexpected turns. Meanwhile, Blake Lively remains at the edge of this story, facing either heartbreak or complicity, depending on which version you believe. One thing is certain: Hollywood thrives on spectacle, and this spectacle has all the ingredients of a saga that won't die quietly. As new pieces of information float to the surface, the illusions that once seemed foolproof begin to fracture. Friendships collapse under the weight of lawsuits, secrets, and unexpected betrayals. Careers hang in the balance, and the entire industry watches, wondering which way the scales will tip. But that's not the end. If you keep looking closely, more clues might appear, piling onto a situation already teetering on the edge. In a town that worships image, each star must carefully guard their public face, lest it crack and reveal what truly lies beneath. Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Blake Lively, and Justin Baldoni stand as actors on a stage none of them meant to build, each trying to play their part without letting the world see their most vulnerable truths. Yet the script is still in progress, and tomorrow's revelations might shift the story once again. After all, in Hollywood, the only thing that's ever guaranteed is that nothing is quite as it seems. And that, perhaps, is the real takeaway. These rumors, lawsuits, and confessions could be the tip of an iceberg, one that suggests an undercurrent of hidden desires, orchestrated reputations, and private alliances shaping what we all see on the screen. When the curtain finally falls, we may discover that the real drama wasn't what the cameras captured, but what everyone involved struggled so desperately to conceal. And if you think this saga ends here, you may want to brace yourself for the next round of headlines, because in Hollywood, secrets rarely stay buried for long. And there you have it, the scandal, the secrets, and the surprises lurking behind Hollywood's glitz and glamour. If you found these revelations as jaw-dropping as we did, make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the bell so you never miss another explosive update. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think really lies beneath the surface of this tangled web? Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more insider scoops.